Welcome to Sleep with Sports NHL Recap for October 17th. In a commanding performance at the Bell Center, the Los Angeles Kings snapped their three-game skid with a decisive 4-1 victory over the Montreal Canadiens on Thursday night. The Kings, rebounding from a tough loss in Toronto, showcased their resilience and depth, leaving the Habs to grapple with their second consecutive home defeat. The game's narrative unfolded with Montreal drawing first blood, but the Kings quickly found their stride. Mikey Anderson's equalizer set the stage for a Los Angeles takeover, with Alex Laferriere netting the go-ahead goal early in the second frame. The Kings never looked back, as Andreas Englund padded the lead late in the third, before Adrian Kempe sealed the deal with an empty netter. In net, David Rittich was the story of the night. The Kings' netminder, bouncing back from a shaky outing against the Leafs, stood tall with 25 saves, frustrating the Canadiens' offense throughout the contest. His counterpart, Sam Montembeault, despite a valiant 28-save effort, including stonewalling Kevin Fiala on a penalty shot, couldn't stem the tide of the Kings' offensive onslaught. For Montreal, Justin Barron's lone tally was a silver lining in an otherwise forgettable outing. The Canadiens will need to regroup quickly as they look to snap their home ice blues and regain their footing in the Eastern Conference. As the final horn sounded, it was clear that the Kings had not only secured two crucial points, but had also rediscovered their winning formula. With this emphatic road win, Los Angeles sends a clear message to the league. The New Jersey Devils put on a clinical performance Thursday night, skating to a solid 3-1 victory over the Ottawa Senators at the Canadian Tire Center. The win caps off a successful road trip for the Devils, who bounced back emphatically from their previous loss. Eric Haula broke the ice early in the second period, deflecting a point shot past the Senators' netminder to give New Jersey the lead. The Devils' special teams then took center stage, with Nathan Bastian extending the lead on a shorthanded breakaway just 4 minutes later. Ottawa pressed hard for a comeback, hitting iron 4 times throughout the contest, but Devils goaltender Jacob Markstrom stood tall. The veteran netminder turned aside 29 of 30 shots, frustrating the Senators' offense time and again. Paul Cotter seemed to put the game out of reach late in the third, notching New Jersey's third goal with under 8 minutes to play. Claude Giroux managed to spoil Markstrom's shutout bid on a late power play, but it was too little too late for the home team. "We stuck to our game plan and executed well," Devils head coach Lindy Ruff commented post-game. "Markstrom was exceptional when we needed him, and our penalty kill came up big, even chipping in offensively." The victory solidifies New Jersey's position in the tight Metropolitan Division race, while Ottawa will look to regroup before their next home stand. In a clash of NHL Titans, the Tampa Bay Lightning edged out the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 in a nail-biting contest at Amalie Arena on Thursday night. The electric atmosphere in Tampa was matched only by the intensity on the ice, as both teams traded blows throughout the game. The Lightning's offensive juggernaut, Nikita Kucherov, continued his scorching start to the season, playing a pivotal role in Tampa Bay's attack. Kucherov, who entered the game with 5 points in his first 2 outings, proved once again why he's considered one of the league's elite playmakers. On the other side, Vegas captain Mark Stone, despite the loss, showcased the form that has made him the Golden Knights' early season points leader. Stone's vision and passing ability kept the Knights within striking distance throughout the contest. Between the pipes, Tampa Bay's Andrei Vasilevsky stood tall, improving his perfect record to 3-0. The Russian netminder's stellar performance was a continuation of his early season dominance, having entered the game with a measly 1 goals against average. For Vegas, Adin Hill had a challenging night in goal. Despite some spectacular saves, Hill couldn't replicate the form that had given him a winning record coming into the game. Special teams played a crucial role in the outcome, with Tampa Bay's power play unit finding the back of the net at least once. The Lightning's power play efficiency, which stood at 18.18% before the game, proved to be a difference maker. With this victory, the Lightning maintained their perfect start to the season, solidifying their position atop the Atlantic Division. The Golden Knights, while tasting defeat, showed why they remain a force to be reckoned with in the Pacific. In a thrilling overtime clash at Rogers Arena, the Vancouver Canucks finally tasted victory this season, edging out the Florida Panthers 3-2 in a nail-biter that had fans on the edge of their seats. JT Miller played the hero for the home team, unleashing a wicked wrist shot past Sergei Bobrovsky just 2:09 into the extra frame. The goal capped off a back-and-forth affair that saw both teams trading punches throughout regulation. The Canucks drew first blood when Teddy Blueger showcased his craftiness with a slick wraparound goal midway through the opening period. However, the Panthers' Jesper Bokvist had an immediate answer, nodding the score a mere 11 seconds later and silencing the Vancouver crowd. Quinn Hughes, the Canucks' dynamic defenseman, restored the lead in the second period with a highlight reel goal that reminded everyone why he's considered one of the league's elite blue liners. But Florida's Anton Lundell, continuing his hot streak with his fourth goal in 3 games, evened things up on a late power play, setting the stage for Miller's overtime heroics. Between the pipes, Kevin Lankinen stood tall for Vancouver, turning away 26 shots, while Florida's Bobrovsky was equally impressive with 30 saves of his own. This victory couldn't have come at a better time for the Canucks, who had been winless in their first 3 outings. Head coach Rick Tocchet will hope this momentum carries forward as his team looks to climb the Pacific Division standings. For the Panthers, it's a tough pill to swallow, but they'll take solace in securing a point on the road. They'll look to bounce back as they continue their Western Canada swing. With this result, Vancouver improves to 1-2 on the season, while Florida's record now stands at a respectable 3-2-1. In a thrilling matchup at Capital One Arena, the Washington Capitals ended the Dallas Stars' perfect start to the season with a nail-biting 3-2 victory on Thursday night. The Caps, hungry for a win on home ice, put on a show for their fans and proved they're a force to be reckoned with in the early stages of the season. The game was a back-and-forth affair, with both teams showcasing their offensive firepower and defensive prowess. Tom Wilson, continuing his strong start to the season, opened the scoring for the Capitals, setting the tone for what would be a closely contested battle. Dylan Strome and Taylor Radish also found the back of the net for Washington, providing the crucial goals that would ultimately secure the win. Despite the loss, the Stars showed why they've been one of the hottest teams out of the gate this season. Colin Blackwell's short-handed goal was a particular highlight, demonstrating Dallas's dangerous special teams play even when down a man. The Stars fought hard to maintain their unbeaten streak, but fell just short in their bid to go 5-0 to start the season. Both goaltenders put on a clinic, keeping the score tight and treating fans to some spectacular saves throughout the night. The low-scoring affair was a testament to the quality of goaltending on display from both sides. With this victory, the Capitals improved to 2-1-0, while the Stars taste defeat for the first time this season, moving to a still impressive 4-1 record. As the dust settles on this early season clash, both teams have shown they'll be ones to watch as the race for playoff positions begins to take shape. In a high-octane clash at Nationwide Arena, the Columbus Blue Jackets outgunned the Buffalo Sabres 6-4 in a barn-burner that had fans on the edge of their seats. The Jackets' offense was firing on all cylinders, with 6 different players lighting the lamp in a display of depth that would make any coach proud. Kirill Marchenko and Mathieu Olivier were the standout performers for Columbus, each notching a goal and an assist to lead the charge. Between the pipes, Daniil Tarasov stood tall, turning away 21 shots to secure the win for the home team. For the Sabres, it was another night of frustration as they slipped to a 1-4-1 record on the season. This loss marks their second straight defeat at the hands of the Blue Jackets, leaving head coach Don Granato with plenty to ponder as he looks to right the ship. The scoreboard operator certainly earned his paycheck tonight, with the teams combining for 10 goals in a game that lived up to its billing as an offensive showcase. While Buffalo managed to find the back of the net 4 times, their defensive woes continue to be a thorn in their side. As the final horn sounded, it was clear that Columbus had found the recipe for success, blending timely scoring with just enough defense to keep the Sabres at bay. For Buffalo, it's back to the drawing board as they search for answers to their early season struggles. The New York Rangers put on an offensive clinic at Madison Square Garden Thursday night, overwhelming the Detroit Red Wings in a decisive 5-2 victory. The win keeps the Blue Shirts unbeaten in regulation, improving their record to 2-0-1, while Detroit slips to 1-2 on the young season. Artemi Panarin was the undisputed star of the show, dazzling the home crowd with his 8th career hat trick and adding an assist for good measure. The Russian winger's virtuoso performance left the Red Wings' defense scrambling all night. Not to be outdone, Vincent Trocheck matched Panarin's 4-point effort with a goal and 3 assists of his own. The dynamic duo's chemistry was on full display as they carved through Detroit's defensive lines with surgical precision. "Brett and I just clicked tonight," Trocheck said in the locker room, using Panarin's nickname. "When he's feeling it like that, you just try to get him the puck and watch the magic happen." Rangers head coach Peter Laviolette praised his team's offensive output but emphasized the need for consistency. "We're happy with the win, but there's always room for improvement. We'll take this momentum into our next game and keep building." For Detroit, it was a night to forget. The Red Wings struggled to contain New York's top line and couldn't generate enough offense to keep pace. Head coach Derek Lalonde will have plenty to address as his team heads back to the drawing board. As the Rangers continue to flex their offensive muscle early in the season, the rest of the league is on notice. With Panarin and Trocheck firing on all cylinders, the Blue Shirts are proving they have the firepower to be a formidable force in the Eastern Conference. In a nail-biting contest at the Enterprise Center, the St. Louis Blues emerged victorious over the New York Islanders with a 2-1 overtime win on Thursday night. The game was a showcase of defensive prowess and stellar goaltending, keeping fans on the edge of their seats until the final buzzer. The match remained deadlocked for regulation time, with both teams trading chances but unable to break through. The scoreless tie was finally broken in the third period, setting the stage for a dramatic finish. As the clock ticked down in overtime, it was Jake Neighbors who played the hero for the Blues. The young forward found the back of the net, sending the home crowd into a frenzy and securing 2 crucial points for St. Louis. Joel Hofer, who got the nod in goal for the Blues, put on a clinic between the pipes, frustrating the Islanders' offense throughout the night. At the other end, Ilya Sorokin was equally impressive for New York, keeping his team in the game with several key saves. This victory improves the Blues' record to 3-2, providing a much-needed boost after their recent 4-1 loss to the Minnesota Wild. For the Islanders, who entered the game with a 1-1 record, the overtime loss adds a valuable point but leaves them hungry for a win in their next outing. As both teams continue to find their footing in the early stages of the season, this tightly contested affair serves as a reminder of the fine margins that often decide games in the NHL. The Blues will look to build on this momentum, while the Islanders will regroup and aim to bounce back in their next matchup. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to Sleep with Sports for daily content from the NFL, NHL, NBA, Formula One, UFC, and more.